Hello, Matt with TriMech. We're going to go ahead and get started on our circular saw project. The saw is mainly done, we just have a couple finishing touches that we need to add, and we're going to do all the design work and all the collaboration in a web browser on the 3D Experience platform. We're going to start by creating a SWYM community. Think of a SWYM community like a project board where I can communicate and collaborate with the entire design team on the project. Let's go ahead and get started and see how we can create a SWYM community.
Okay, now we've logged into the 3D Experience platform. We're going to create a new tab to store our communities. I'm going to go ahead and rename this. And I like to have this on the left side of my screen, so we'll go ahead and drag that tab over to reorganize it. And the application that we want to find in our compass is called 3D SWYM. We're just going to drag and drop that out onto the tab we created and maximize it. So you can see the list of communities that we already have, or the list of project boards. I need to create a new one, so we click on Show All, and there's a plus sign in the upper right-hand corner. This will allow us to add a community. So we're going to go ahead and create a project board for our circular saw project to allow our team to communicate. Now, we'll go ahead and just add our own thumbnail image so that everybody understands which community it is and makes it easier to find in the list. So I have a nice picture of our saw here. We'll go ahead and add that. Now we can create a community as a public, private, or secret community. Public means it's available to everybody in the company. Private means everybody can see it, but they have to ask to be invited. And secret means that I have to invite users to be able to use it. Now at the bottom here we have an idea funnel. This allows us to transition ideas through various stages. We're going to go ahead and add a fourth stage and change color here. And let's go ahead and just rename this stage, and we'll set it that any project that transfer out of an idea has to be set to at least this stage. And it's just that simple to create a community. We'll hit apply here, and I can go ahead and close this. I'm done with the creation. Okay. You can see the community appears in the list of my communities, and I'm going to go ahead and drag this up to my favorites. So it's always at the top of my list. And here's where all the content will be stored. And over on the right, we can add our members. But before we do that, I actually want to create a group. I'm going to be adding these engineers to a lot of different places. So I'm going to create a group of design engineers so it's easier for me to select when adding to communities into my project. I'll just simply create a new group, give it a title. Now I just need to edit this group and add all the project members who are going to be involved. Now that I have that group created, I can go ahead and start adding members to my team. So if we go over to members, and on my project board, I want to add in that circular saw group, and I want them to be owners. I want them to be able to do anything with any of the content in the project board. But I also want them to be able to communicate with our sales team. So I'm going to add a couple of our sales members here, Alyssa and Clay, so that our project engineering team can communicate with our sales team. And we'll go ahead and also add Riley from the marketing team so she can be involved as well. The nice thing about communities is we can expand a project board to anybody who really touches the design project. Okay, now we have all our members for our board. I'm going to go ahead and create an initial post so everybody knows that this is off and running. And just simply click in here and we'll go ahead and put an introduction of what we're going to do with the circular saw project. Nice thing about these posts is I can go ahead and add an image as well. I can use that same circular saw image I used for the thumbnail as an image here on my post. Since these project boards are CAD aware, any CAD data that I add in here will show up in a 3D viewer so that people can rotate that around, and we'll see that throughout the project. Now I'm going to add a task to David. I need David to start a project plan, so I'm going to go ahead and add a task here so that he can get the project plan started, and I can set an end date for this task for Friday so that once the project plans are created, everybody can start work on their own individual assignments. I'm going to assign this to David. You can see his name will pop up in the list here, and then set the day that I'd like him to complete it. And he'll get a notification that he's now been assigned this project. Great. Now that our community is underway, I'm going to go ahead and start creating what I need from a file structure standpoint for everybody to be able to access. So I'm going to switch over to my Files tab, and we're going to add a folder where I want everybody to store all the work. Folders we call bookmarks in the platform. And so I'm going to create a new bookmark for the circular saw project. And I'll create it at the root level. So we'll go up to the root level of the bookmarks and add a new bookmark. And we'll just call this circular saw. And I'll add my initials. Since this is a demonstration platform, a lot of other engineers could have bookmarks created. So let's keep this stored to me. And then this bookmark, they have a lot of different uses, right? We can view different things in here. We can perform lifecycle operations to them as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this bookmark with the team. So we'll just grab my circular saw team here, and we'll share the bookmark so it will show up in their bookmark list as well. Again, think of this like a folder structure. Now, when adding a bookmark, I can choose what permissions I'd like them to have. I want them to have full permissions, so go ahead and add that. Now they each have this bookmark in their list, and we're going to go ahead and add that circular saw to the bookmark. So I'll go ahead and just search for my assembly file. And we can simply drag and drop into that bookmark. Okay. I like the drag and drop ability. If I want this in my viewer, just drag and drop it into my viewer, and I can see the assembly that I just added. Okay. Now they need access into the design space, so we're going to go ahead and open up my vault that we're going to be working in, and I can go ahead and add that group here as well. Again, you can see the huge benefit of creating the group is I don't have to type out all 5 users each time. I can just select the group and add them as leaders into my vault. Okay. Well, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and give David a call here in my community tab, and we'll sort out the project plan. Hi.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Good. How are you, David?
I'm doing well.
Okay, let's talk about putting this circular saw together.
Yes.